What is up, guys? Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a bunch of champions who are really difficult to balance, but that kind of makes them ideal to play in main actually, because Riot rarely ever nerf them despite how strong they can be. Before we start, as you know, we've teamed up with the site Pawn Win, and this is your weekly reminder the new challenges are up on the site. The site is Riot approved and lets you earn rewards for literally just playing League, either in their custom matches or in your normal ranked games. You can head over to the challenges, find the ones with my name and sign up. As always, there's a pay safe card though to win every time I talk about the site, so throw the video a like if you do, but just leave a comment down below with anything to be entered. And the last winner actually hasn't replied yet, so if they still don't, by next week I'll give out 2 this time as well. So for this video, like a Ringer for example would be the opposite of this. Like every time he gets strong he just gets nerfed into the ground to kind of keep him down again, and a lot of the champions we actually focus on this channel are going to be like that. So they're really strong, they're kind of overpowered, you abuse them but then they get nerfed and you have to move on. We want champions who Riot rarely ever look at, a lot like Gangplank actually, who is going to kick this off. So GP is so overpowered right now, honestly. He's so strong and he can do well in most matchups. Top, he has a sustain and can farm from range kind of with his barrels. He also has literally no pressure on him as a champion. Like he just farms up for his items and then starts to take over the game. His damage and his ultimate is insane right now. Getting a sneaky triple barrel can actually win a fight on its own. So there's kind of like 2 parts to this video to the champions on here. Like the champion is really hard to balance because they have a loaded kit or are kind of pretty unique, or they're just very difficult to play. GP is more about the second option really. He's quite hard, so if Riot nerf him at all, then they're basically killing the champion for new or lower ranked players, but if they don't, they're letting really good Gangplanks run around and kill everyone. This is a problem when you have like such a big difference between an average player and a great player on the champion, and quite a few on this video are going to fit into this. He is getting more popular now and people are kind of realizing just how good he is, but at the same time he's not even considered to be super broken yet. Even when he is, Riot are going to have such a hard time adjusting him, and even small nerfs wouldn't affect his ability to do what he does now. That means putting in the time into him, like playing him and learning him long term, is not going to get you screwed over. He's not likely to get nerfed and become useless. The next one though is Cogmore, and this is actually where the idea for this video came from, like entirely. Cog is so good, but he's not been touched in ages and it doesn't look like he's going to be either. Some Cog players are kind of just awful. Like that's kind of where his bad name comes from, I guess. He's so different to other AD carries that people take a little while to adjust to him, but he's seriously strong. Funnily enough, he's probably stronger in the jungle at this point in time, which is so strange to say. Like the jungle is going to mean you can farm up and get your items. You have the red smite for the damage reduction and a blood razor. That item, blood razor, is like the mother of all on hit items. It's like the ultimate one, which we can get now. It's going to apply the runins and the rage blade as well if we get that on top. The only thing you have to worry about is getting invaded, but we have less aggressive picks now anyway, so it's not really going to be a problem. But Cog is so hard to balance because it's not really him, it is the items. Your W form is already doing reduced AD damage, like it's not exactly strong on its own. It doesn't actually do that much damage. It's applying the on hit on each one of those that does the damage. You can't even remove that actually, because if you do, you'd have to give him a full rework. He doesn't have any damage anywhere else. It's really that like one solid mechanic that makes him so strong, and it's so tough to balance directly onto the champion. You can't really touch the items he uses either, because that's going to affect other champions. That is pretty much why he's been so strong all season and still continues to perform. Like I'm not even sure Riot could do if they wanted to. Like at most he reacts to the meta of other champions more than anything else. So next up is Thresh, basically the king of all supports, and most likely the obvious one you expected actually from this video, because his kit is so overloaded with everything. He'll always be a strong pick no matter how much Riot bone him. It doesn't mean he's like super broken right now with the normal player, but if you main Thresh you can make him appear so overpowered. Like if you think about it, okay, your passive gives him a good scaling, like your Q is to hook people to set up kills or to peel, like it also holds them in place for a short period. Your W can save people or set up ganks. Your E Flay can like cancel jumps like Lee Sin or Tristana, etc. And it also actually like pull or push, I guess that's the normal thing. Or your ultimate even does damage and slows multiple people. That is so much regardless of damage for one support to have. It's like the type of abilities, it's not the numbers. Even if you reduce the damage on his E, it can still cancel jumps or undo its function, I guess. It's basically impossible to ever fully balance Thresh. This is normally why newer Thresh players aren't that great actually. Even ones who played him for a while can suck. You have to use his kit properly for him to actually be overpowered, and that takes some time to practice to get used to. That is the issue for Riot though. If you nerf him to bring him down for these kind of like god Thresh players, right, and suddenly he's gonna suck for the regular players and there'll be no point playing him anymore. Even now he's not like the best pick ever to pick up and play, I guess, and that's a result of Riot actually whacking him over and over with nerfs. He's still really good with a good player though, and it's after these nerfs, imagine what it's going to be like if he ever gets a buff. What I'm trying to say is with this one, like his kit is overloaded with stuff that already gives him potential, plus he's difficult to play, so the only way for Riot to really go is up with Thresh. Jax is a little less expected, I think. Like everyone knows he can be strong, but he's actually notorious for being hard to balance. Jax is a late game champion, and because of that, he has a lot of bad matchups or gets pooped on in lane more than other picks do, and Riot don't really want to stop him becoming a beast. It's just like making it harder to get there in the first place. That is actually a good thing for us though, because it means that we have one thing to focus on, our lane phase. If we can win the lane, then we can snowball out of control, we can reach our late game items quicker and completely take over. Now that is not going to be the easiest thing for sure, like you can't just magic a win in the lane phase, but the more time you put into him, the more you're going to learn matchups and like how you can win them. Plus he's technically seen as more of a split pusher, right? Late game and split push is so hard to balance for Riot because it's not easy to do. Like a good player who can win lane and knows more about how to pressure the map properly will just demolish a game. A newer player or a lower ranked player is not going to be able to maximize his potential like that though, so this is kind of the point for this one. Like with Jax, he does have ways to win his lane even if he's not favored, but his core mechanics, so the counter strike and being a late game carry, is not going to change. You can't really balance a weak early game champion assuming he's going to get fed. Like Riot have to assume that he's going to lose or just do okay and therefore be like relevant with just a few items and have a lot of damage packed into his kit, which is what Jax is now. The fact that we can actually win and get them earlier is something Riot can't really deal with, like at all. They don't know how to deal with that. And overall, like Jax has a stupid amount of damage, right, and probably snowballs with the lead more than any other top laner I can think of. You can't really adjust him for that. You can't nerf him based on that though, so he's always going to be good no matter what. Now Vayne is another one a lot like this actually, so let's talk about her now. But actually it's kind of like both. It's like sticking Gangplank and Jax together. So she's hard to play. Like I know some people are like Vayne is the easiest champ, but come on, she's not at all, especially not actually to get yourself a lead. Maybe late game she gets easier, but still. So the problem there is newer players are already having a hard time. Like if you nerf to balance for the better ones, you're going to kill her completely lower down. She's also a late game champion, right? You're not supposed to do well early, so she actually needs to have ways to kill people with fewer items like your W, your tumble, your stealth and stuff like that. If you readjust those things and nerf her utility side, you're suddenly going to have to get ahead on a weak early game champion, which makes no sense at all. So again, this is coming down to two things really, right? If you can win your lane, you'll reach your needed items faster and you'll be stronger, which mainly comes from experience and learning her properly. Now I can't believe I'm actually like recommending people to main Vayne. Like for real, you can make your life so much easier by playing other picks now, but as far as it goes, like long term, she is a really solid bet. No matter what happens in the game, she's never going to be completely crap. Like maybe for newer ones if they nerf her, but not for good ones. If anything, I can actually see Vayne getting some more buffs soon. She's weak for most people compared to others, and Riot have already been looking at her a little bit. So yes, like Ashe and Jhin might be easier for now, but Vayne can be so overpowered and carry just as hard if you are good with her or you get ahead in the game. And the difference is Jhin will likely get nerfed, Vayne won't. So Kayle is like the mage version of Kog'Maw in this video, I think. Like I could probably copy paste 90% of what I said and it would still fit. And maybe that was an exaggeration, but it's more about the items than anything else. Kayle is a very basic kit, but it's loaded with a lot of different things. Like utility wise, it's not really about the numbers, which is similar to a lot of champions here. You have your passive, which is like armor and magic resist shred. You have your Q, which is a slow. Your W is a heal. Your E makes you become range and AoE damage, and your ultimate is immune to damage. So if you look at it like that, even without the damage values on the table, that's still a lot to offer. And because her E also does bonus magic damage per hit, we can stack attack speed and on hit to buff everything. So Kayle literally comes in and out of the meta depending on what items are strong. Nash's and Wit's End right now, even Rage Bait and Runans are examples of stuff that works perfectly with her kit and is making her overpowered. She might actually just fit this video better than anyone else really. I'd actually wanted to put her first, but we'll get into that in a minute. Like how do you balance her really? You can't target Kayle because on her own without these items, she isn't even that strong. Like she doesn't do much damage and nothing is broken at all. You can't target the items either that she uses or you'll ruin them for other champions. Like especially when Runans, Rage Bait and Wit's End are mostly used by AD champions. So in theory, you'll balance them for those, not for Kayle, who is an outlier. Kayle is famous for being constantly busted, but nobody really plays her, and that's kind of exactly what this video is about. The problem you're actually going to have with Kayle, the reason she's not like earlier in this video, is that if like items are reworked or the meta shifts drastically, like you're going to probably fall out of favor and be weaker, but as a general champion, like she's not likely to get hit herself. So this is probably from like kind of expected to really random, but let's go to Heimerdinger. So Heimer is actually legit so overpowered if you play him correctly and you're good with him. I don't know if you've ever seen like a Heimerdinger main in action, but playing against one just makes me want to quit. Like it makes me want to Alt F4 and uninstall. He's not popular, which kind of helps this idea of not getting nerfed, but he's also kind of awkward and weird to learn. His kit just has so many random things thrown together, and there are a lot of different ways to play him. If you put all of those things together, it just makes him so hard to balance and to actually like adjust. So basically Riot don't, and they leave him alone. The easy rot banner and cheese strat is actually still legit, by the way. I did a video on that ages ago, but that build, like you build them, you sit in a lane with towers and you just push constantly. Like there's nothing you can do to stop him. him. It isn't just like the cheese thing though. You can team fight with a more damage heavy build and your rockets. You can set stuff up with your stun, like if you bounce it. You can push with your turrets. There are so many ways, like the little things that add up together, I guess, that just make him so strong. The thing is, like, when was the last time you actually remember him getting a nerf? When was the last time you saw him played? Just because he's not mainstream doesn't mean he's not strong, but right now with how his kit is, it's just too hard to adjust without screwing everything up. So while it's not like an obvious problem, Riot would rather ignore it, honestly, I think. It sounds weird, but I think that actually is the reasoning behind it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this was something a little bit different. I'm just kidding. I'm not actually going to say that, but remember to check out Paul and Win. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, seriously. Share, like it if you want to, all of that lovely stuff, but for now, I'll leave you with the robots.